All I ever wanted in this world is carnage.
The new Carnage trailer. There is so much going on in this trailer. I'm going to break it down for you real quick, point out the stuff that I noticed, point out the stuff that I noticed other people noticed as I was watching their breakdowns, and just kind of get into this and let you know everything. If you haven't seen my reaction to this, we did a live reaction with Alex and Ryan Reichert from Reichert Comics, Ryan Reichert, as well as Hoarder's Hide, who was there shortly after we finished our little reaction to this video. So, with all of that being said, let's get into it. Let's break down this trailer and let's just talk about everything going on. Now that I've got the right headphones in, we are good to go. Let's talk about it.
Eddie, we should be out there snacking on bad guys.
So right off the bat, we're already starting with something really cool. Venom driving, so that way Eddie doesn't get hurt while he's driving at these high speeds. And Venom kind of upset with Eddie for not wanting to take on bad guys, for kind of keeping them caged up, which then gets into Venom hitting Eddie. So right after Eddie kind of comes back from being Venom and takes down some bad guys, we then cut to a scene of Venom destroying a tire that says Snooki on it. I really don't think that's a reference to Snooki, but the biggest part is where Venom actually kind of kicks back Eddie and then goes inside Eddie once again. And again, we're kind of seeing like Venom caged up. We hear Venom call Eddie a loser. We see the relationship just not working out too good. And we hear Eddie say, if they find out about you, they could send you off to Area 51. Like, that's a thing. And then you cut to Ravencroft. And we all know Ravencroft is this big corporation, a sane asylum that basically has been destroying people's lives. We know that Cletus Kasady had a big history there. It's huge that Ravencroft is in this. Not quite sure if Ravencroft is going to be where Ravencroft normally is or whatnot, but it should be a very interesting movie with Ravencroft in it. The biggest thing, though, is that we also see Eddie with a little bit of Venom Eddie comedy, where Venom says, "Let me break your nose." Or, "Sorry, I broke your nose. Let me fix it so I can break it again," and then literally smacks him in the head again. It's these little things in the trailer that kind of make it seem, okay, this is actually kind of funny. There's a little bit of a light tone to it. But then we also see the whole rules no eating people sign, and that kind of shows us too that clearly Eddie and Venom are not on good footing right now. Venom calls him a straight up loser, which shows that Venom isn't a huge fan of him. Cut back to Ravencroft, or actually I'm not sure where they're keeping Cletus right now. It's not really, it's not Ravencroft, or it could be the backside of it, who knows. But there's some big things happening with Cletus. And of course, this wouldn't be a Carnage movie without Shriek, which is going to play a pretty big role moving forward, and it's not quite sure what's going to truly happen with her, but we do know that that is Cletus's girlfriend in the comics, so hopefully we kind of see more of her as this movie progresses, and once we get the movie and as the trailer progresses, we'll see a little bit more of her as well. We can also see that Eddie is actually writing an article for the Daily Bugle, the Sam Raimi version of the Daily Bugle. So will this be taking place in the Sam Raimi universe? Who knows? That does kind of get dicey because you obviously already have a Venom in the Sam Raimi universe with a totally different backstory. But we see these pictures and these drawings, most likely drawn by Cletus, and him kind of remembering Shriek and his love for her. And there's that poem there that seems to be like it's for both of them. So that's going to be interesting to dive into as well. And I'm kind of hoping that we do get more of a Venom storyline, but also that we get a storyline that actually has to do with Cletus's own origin story. That would be really fun, and the dynamic of Cletus, and just kind of going from there.
Eddie Brock, I want to give you my story. People love serial killers. Cletus, why me? What's mine is yours, and what's yours is mine.
Now, this is the scene where it gets really interesting, because he said, what's mine is yours, and what's yours is mine, and it's almost like he knows Eddie, but I don't think that he knows Eddie because he knows that Eddie is a symbiote. That's the weird part, because it almost seems like he knows, but at the same time, how? How could he possibly know that Eddie has a symbiote inside of him? So Cletus obviously gets Carnage through biting Eddie on the finger, but that whole reference to like them being part of each other, them being their own people, is very different. It's very weird. And I really like the way they're going with this. It's dark without being dark, but it's comedy without being too much comedy. The darkness of it just ties everything into a nice bow. I love the way that they're depicting Carnage. I love the way that Woody Harrelson is depicting this character, Cletus Kasady, and Carnage at the same time. It's rather amazing how this is all shaking out. And it should be very interesting to see what Cletus really means by, I know you and you know me.
I have tasted blood before, and that is not it.
Again, we see Cletus kind of playing with Eddie's mind, toying with him, trying to get Eddie to show him something or tell him something, or just trying to pull this whole symbiote thing out of him. And then he bites his finger and says straight up, I've tasted blood before, and that is not it. And we cut to a scene of Eddie on a motorcycle again, and Cletus's eyes rolling in the back of his head, and just going through the process of changing from Cletus Kasady to Carnage, and then the transformation that truly looks like he physically changes. Then we get this really cool scene where we see Carnage just get shot at, and he actually doesn't move, he doesn't stop. He opens up. Now, if we saw that on Eddie, and we've seen this before with Venom and Eddie, Venom just moves out of the way, and Eddie is still right there. This is literally like a better, stronger bond than Eddie has with Venom. Cletus is Carnage. Carnage is Cletus. That is so cool. It's such an interesting dynamic for a symbiote to be one with its host in a way that's like they're the same exact person. It's insane how well they've done this, how much they've done with it. It's so cool to watch. This scene is so interesting. The tongue going down the throat. It's like, okay, yeah, it's a PG-13 movie, but at the same time, like, they're going full on Carnage with this. Not maximum Carnage, but full on Carnage. They're taking it to an amazing level. We see Carnage say, well, I'll go after Anne. Like, no problem with that. And I can't not make a breakdown video without mentioning how cool this scene is with Carnage up there in front of the window. Now this brings us to my favorite scene of this trailer, where Venom truly shows us and talks about it with Eddie, why he's so afraid of Carnage. So I want to play that for you guys.
Oh, shit!
Whoa, where you going?
That is a red one!
You need to come out right now.
I
I'll let you eat everybody!
Promise!
I promise!
Oh, yeah!
So I'm guessing this is the first time that they kind of meet in battle, where Carnage and Venom meet, and we see Carnage just looking BA as all hell, and Venom is like, wow, whoa, hold up. No one told me there was a red one. So clearly Venom knows and has met some red symbiotes before, and they are much stronger, much better than any other symbiote. So that really kind of shows and tells us a lot about Carnage, a lot about the red symbiotes, and where we might be going from here. And looking at Carnage in this scene, you can see how amazing and lethal everything about him is. You can tell the anger on his face. You can see the weapons that he has, the ability to shapeshift and all of that. And Eddie kind of has to make a promise that I'll let you eat whoever you want as long as you come back out and we fight this guy. Like, we got this. I promise you we're going to survive. Like, you've never fought him with me before, blah, blah, blah. And that's kind of where it goes. And then it leads into this last Venom Carnage scene where it's actually pretty interesting.
Eddie, you feel like home to me. Like family.
So obviously we get Cletus talking to Eddie. You feel like family, you feel like home to me. It's just interesting vibes that we're getting from Cletus. And yeah, we know that he's got some insanity, but at the same time it's like, okay, what do you know that we don't? What is going on here? What's happening? We get a little bit more of Shriek in this trailer as well. And it's really fun the way they did it. I'm really excited for this movie because we're seeing a lot of action, but we're not getting a lot of story. And that's the kind of trailer that I really like to see. The ending of this trailer, actually, I wasn't a huge fan of. I mentioned that in my reaction video, that I was kind of like, okay, why did we have to include this? Why did this need to even be in a trailer? But then it ends on a little funny note of, well, you know what? Those two need couples counseling. Like, okay, so he knows that Venom's there. We know she knows. What's going to happen? Where will this all go? And that's where I'm going to leave you guys. Let me know what you thought about this breakdown in the comments below. I know it's kind of a quicker breakdown. I didn't get too in-depth with this. I might do a more in-depth breakdown, but this was just kind of like a little bit of fun for me. It was kind of just seeing what this could look like, how we could kind of play around with this breakdown idea. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Have a great day. As always, #Loungers Unite, and make sure you go subscribe, like this video, and comment on this video, and check out these 3 other videos that you might not have seen yet. Have a good one.